Frailty, thy name is woman, William Shakespeare. It is painfully obvious that Shakespeare knew little of frailty and even less about women. Yesterday's concept of frailty has given way to an ever-increasing number of savvy, career-oriented women who are proving themselves more than adequate rivals for the coveted title of kings, or in this case, queens of the jungle. Half of all small business starts are by women, and their success rates are very high. In a moment, you'll meet 4 dynamic women of diverse careers who have achieved a common goal, all proving that frailty has no name. A woman with a vision. Beverly Ricks took a first step, guided by a strong faith, developed that vision into her own business. With hard work and a passion to please, she has become successful.
When I first come to Los Angeles, I was working in a nail shop with a young lady while I was going back to get my hours that I needed for California license. And after I finished, I ended up working there for her for about 7 years. So when she decided to move, and I had to do something myself. I didn't want to go into the mall. She went into the Crenshaw Mall. I took a chance and went out on my own. I've always been interested in the beauty area, as making women beautiful. It's just something I've always enjoyed as a child, doing hair. When my name went up on the wall, I felt so wonderful because I felt I had achieved something that I had been striving for such a long time. And it was something seemed like one day just happened. I wasn't planning on it, it just happened, in a sense of speaking. So it was a wonderful feeling. I went to a junior college for cosmetologists. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, which means I can do anything in the field of cosmetology. It takes a lot of hard work, and you have to sacrifice to own your own business. You really have to sacrifice. You have to go without a lot of things that you're normally not used to going without in order to establish yourself. You always face problems when you first open. Financial problems, most of the time, are the problems. But as I said, I guess faith took me a long way because I prayed and I had a lot of faith. I worked hard. I was able to budget, which helped me. It's all about being able to budget when you really first open up a business, because you don't know what's going to take here and what's going to take there. So you kind of have to use your own strong judgment of being able to budget yourself. And everything kind of falls in place. I haven't had a problem with being approached because I'm a female business person. I think, like I said, attitude has a lot to do with a lot of things, And I think I have that kind of attitude where I can deal with people. I get along very well with men or female, so I haven't had that problem yet. Under the training of the lady that I worked for when I worked in her boutique and her nail shop, I learned a great deal from her, paying attention, and me being the manager there, I was always very concerned that whatever she was doing, I was interested in it, so I learned from her. All that I didn't pick up on my own. Right now, I do the sculptured nails, we do manicures, we do pedicures, I do facials, I do eyelashes, the permanent lashes, the eyebrow arch. And that's it for right now. Well, I keep up with the trends. I get a lot of magazines. I go to different stores and look around and see what's going on. And from some of the younger generation and the older, they come in sometimes and they'll ask me, you think you can find this or this? And that make me go out and look for certain things too. So through my clients and through my magazines and just going to different stores, seeing what they have out. All sizes, from small all the way to extra large, 2X, 3X, you name it. I try to have something for all the ladies. If a person would come in and ask me if I could get something for them in their size or if I could find this particular item for them, I do go out and try to find it for them. Most of my buying I buy in the garment district right now, but I go to certain wholesalers that don't sell to the public. I don't like to go where you can just go and buy. I prefer dealing with certain wholesalers that doesn't sell to the public. I come up with my own ideas, more or less. I don't know, I think I have my own little style that I like, that works for me. and so I mainly do it myself. I like to have a full salon, as far as where the lady can come in, or a man, and get any services that they need in the beauty area. My dream for this shop is to expand. I would like to have a larger shop than what I have. But you know, we have to crawl before we walk, and I'm aware of that. And so those are my dreams. I think if you work hard, even being a small business person, that you'll survive. And it's all about how you treat your clients and the people, because word of mouth is very important. If I had to walk away from my store tomorrow, I would probably find another job similar to what I'm doing now, because this is what I love. So it would be hard for me to get out of the field. Success means to me just being able to be comfortable and being able to do things that you like to do, and also bringing people along with you. I have 3 kids, but 2 are grown and gone, so I have a 13-year-old, so it makes it a lot easier just having one, and he's 13, so he's not a baby. So yeah, we spend a lot of time together when we're together. But since I only know the Crenshaw area now as far as business, I don't think I would want to go away from it, because I think we have a lot to offer our people right here in the Crenshaw area. Well, I think my people are the rich and famous, so that's how I feel about them. And when you have that feeling about them, my people are very spoiled, because I pamper them. And to me, when you're paying for a service, you're paying to be pampered. And that's why they continue to come back and they bring other people, because I like to be pampered when I go have service. So it doesn't matter whether you're a star or not. To me, all my ladies are stars.
In the quaint and diverse community of the Larchmont Village area, Mel Denise Primesberger, a woman with a goal and an infinity for cards, decided to open her own business. With planning, the support of her family, and good relationships with her customers, her business has become a fixture within the community.
Oh, cards. I've always liked wrapping paper and greeting cards, and I don't know, it's just one of the things. I think I like the colors and the variations and textures, and that's the reason why I wanted to go into the card business rather than lamps or clothing or toys. I just had a natural gravitation towards cards. My husband said once, you know, he was going to have to, my husband actually built like a little cupboard space for me in our house, because I was always going out and buying different wrapping papers and different greeting cards, and always sending out birthday cards and celebrating occasions. And the ironic part is, now that I'm in the business, I can never remember to send a birthday card or an anniversary card or a get well card to anyone. I always wanted to have my own business, and my husband was very supportive. My mother was very supportive. I think the lure of, you know, having your own hours, being your own boss, I think all of that really lent itself towards it. A couple of weeks ago, I think an incident happened, and I thought to myself, gee, you know, my name is on the outside of a building. And it just really kind of dawned on me. It's like I've got this built-in instant fame every day. You know, I wake up, everybody knows, oh, there's Denise's Hallmark shop. So it's kind of, it's exciting. It's a sense of pride. Sometimes you don't want people to know that you're the owner, because you don't want to handle all the problems and, you know, have to field all the questions. But it's really, you begin to take it for granted after a while. You've got your names on bags. You've got your names on, you know, on calendars, on date books. It becomes sort of old hat a little bit. My husband is a CPA, so he does my bookkeeping for me and handles all my payroll taxes and all of that fun stuff. But pretty much I just run it, you know, I do it on my own. I do all the buying and the merchandising, and I have a staff that works. I have one person that works nearly full-time, and then I have a staff of high school and college students that help me out. But pretty much I'm just on my own. There's no secret formula. It's just hard work. And I think planning, you know, this wasn't something that my husband and I had thought about 20 minutes and said, okay, this is fine, this is what we want to do. I think you have to set a goal. And we had this goal in mind that one day I wanted to own my own business. We have a small family, young family, and I wanted to pretty much be able to dictate my own time. So we started to plan, and we had a goal. We had like a 2-3 year, goal in mind. We would start saving and be able to purchase a business or start one, from the ground. And that's all there is. It's just really planning. And there's also timing, and there's also luck. Is it worth it? But I think it is worth it, because the message I'm conveying to my daughter is, you know what? A woman can be in business, a woman can handle a business, a woman can be successful. So I think I'm setting a very strong role model, not only for women, but also for other African-American females as well. My daughter, who's 11, comes in and she helps me out. She runs the register. She knows how to put away cards. She knows how to restock. We've brought the 5-year-old in this summer, and he was working the register with me and bagging and straightening cards. And he's 5. And but you know what? I don't think they really want any parts of it. My daughter wants to be a teacher, and my little boy wants to be a mad scientist, he says. So I think the dynasty will end right here. I have many times, and I think probably within the past year, been a lot more vocal with Hallmark on what they should and should not do, be a little bit more critical of the operation, and I have passed the suggestions on. And it's interesting because Hallmark listens. One thing about this enterprise is that they're really a people-oriented company, and they do listen. You buy the stock of Hallmark in terms of merchandise, but you don't pay a monthly franchise fee like many franchise stores do. What you do is you sell you sign it like a retailing agreement that, let's say, 80% of your store will be stocked with Hallmark, and they allow you to have the licensing agreement to sell their product. That's about as franchised as they get. But it's helpful when you're selling 80% of the product, because they do advertise so much on television. People do come in expecting to see certain lines, like for instance the window card lines or the personalized machine. Or big business cannot offer people is that one-on-one relationship. I know a lot of my customers by name, if not by face, but by name. I think people really enjoy having an owner present on site when they do their shopping or when they conduct their business. Being of color, I have to say that I am taken very seriously. I know people often think, gee, I didn't know you owned the store. But I'm really amazed at the way, they don't make a difference. Once, I would say like 95% of my customers don't care. They really don't care. They're just looking for service, they're looking for value, and they're looking for product. And I think regardless of who you are, what you look like, as long as you can fulfill someone's needs, that's the most important thing. 6 years ago, people were shocked at my age. Now I've aged 6 years, so it's not so. It's like, oh, well, you maybe could have a store. But 6 years ago, I was 29 years old, and it was not only that I was a female and owned this store, but I was African-American and I was so young. I think that was a shock. But now I think, it's not so much anymore. Successfulness means to me, if someone comes in looking for something as simple as a card, being able to have that person walk out of the door and they have found just the exact message that they want to say, just having a satisfied customer, that's being successful, because I know if a customer is satisfied, they're going to return. So much of my business is repeat business that I really have to work on, again, building relationships and making sure people find exactly what they want and having them come to me as their first choice, and that's being successful.
Taking inspiration from everyday life and applying it to a craft takes more than a fair amount of wisdom. Linda Stokes is as wise as she is confident, a woman who likes being her own boss. She believes that consistency and hard work are some of the keys to success.
I started my own business because I'm just an independent type person, and I don't follow orders very well. I don't follow what other people do. I'm just really independent, and I just like to be my own boss. The name of my business is LSO Designs, which stands for Linda Stokes Originals, and we create looks and costumes for celebrities and other, normal people also. I started my own business because I'm just an independent type person, and I don't follow, orders very well. I don't follow, what other people do. I'm just really independent, and I just like to be my own boss. I think I got into the clothing business basically because I like wearing clothes. I like buying clothes. I like dressing up. I just like the basic clothing business per se. Just being creative in clothing. I come up with ideas for everyday life, different shapes, shapes, balls, and I once created a dress from just a triangle shape. So you get ideas from everything. Everything in life you can get ideas from in creating fashion. I specialize in clothing for the celebrities. I do more of that glitzy, glittery type of clothing. That's my favorite thing to do. But I do, average clothing for the average person also on a daily basis. Most people know what they look good in, and they come to me to enhance that. I have designed for several celebrities, to name a few: Smokey Robinson, Patti LaBelle, Charles Dutton. Here we have some of our custom-made bustiers, all hand-beaded, and some of them have matching shoes. This outfit here, this is one of my favorites. This is a black velvet. I call it a tuxedo. It has a beaded choker bustier, beaded cuffs, and it has spats, suede boots with spats on them. That's one of my favorite. Over here we have, this is Alex. This is her wedding gown. She's the daughter of Whoopi Goldberg. It's coming along. This gown took about a week and a half to make. Hand beaded mixed in with appliques. Okay, these are illustrations that were done for the singing group In Vogue. Some different concepts. These were costumes illustrated for In Vogue for their new tour with Luther Vandross. These costumes here, this one was the idea for Eddie Murphy's bridal party. This is what they wore in coral for the wedding. This dress was designed for Patti LaBelle. And this suit here, it was just designed for someone looking for a little excitement. Yeah, I like to pass on my business to my children. When I retire, my daughters are currently working with me in, doing fashion shows for me and assisting me in, designs and shoe covering and things like that. They're very helpful. I was basically inspired by my home economics teacher back in Michigan. She basically gave me all the fundamentals of sewing. And she was a big inspiration to me. Of the African-American designers, I was a big fan of a couple of them. Willie Smith was one of my favorites as far as, his suits, the oversized suits. I was a big fan of his before he died. Norma Kamali was one of the biggest influences on my life as far as fashion. Norma Kamali, Bob Mackie, and Gianni Versace is my now favorite, my idol in the fashion industry. I got inspiration from all of those designers, maybe just style, basically. It's just a bit of their style, I think, sort of rubbed off on me. I think the hardest thing to overcome in having your own business is that you constantly have to work to make sure that it's ran properly, that you're giving the quality, the right quality that you want to put out in your clothing. And that's been the hardest thing that I've had to do, is just to be consistent, to make sure that my seamstresses are doing exactly what I want them to do. Being black, African-American, I think that it's being a woman, first of all, is a little harder. Getting the recognition that I feel that maybe I deserve, number one, and then being a black woman in business, it's a little harder. It's harder getting the respect that you deserve from from your peers a lot of times. I'm not afraid of competing with any well-known designers. I'm basically not afraid of anything. I'm not the type to be frightened of any competition or anything like that. I feel that I work hard enough, I can just go up against the best of them. I would like to see an LSO in every closet, everyone's closet.
Running your own business takes more than luck. For a woman to invest her personal finances, time, and effort means she has an ambitious nature. Beatrice Faucrion is such a woman who is concise, crystal clear, and sharp, an indispensable asset to the Hollywood entertainment community. She's a woman whose star is rising.
New World Management is my first business. This business started several years ago when I was once working as a secretary for Motown Records. And I worked directly for the chairman, who was at that time Mr. Berry Gordy. And he sold the company to MCA and the Boston Ventures. And after you've worked as a secretary for the chairman, in my mind, where was I to go? And there is no one else to run to. So having nowhere else to go other than with the new company that bought the old Motown, I decided to seek legal advice from special acquaintances and friends of mine at Motown, and they suggested to me that I should perhaps take my profit-sharing earnings, which were divided up by Mr. Gordy himself, and go into my own business. My educational background consists of a BA degree in business administration, film and music education through the extension of UCLA, and a lot of hours invested in getting acquainted and getting to know the music business. I took a number of different UCLA extension courses on personal and business management. I also had the advice and consultant advice of a legal staff with Motown Records. I talked with Mr. Berry Gordy a number of times, and I had the opportunity to work with two other secretaries who had been with him from for over a period of 25 years. And they offered me advice and suggestions and recommendations on how to be sharp, smart, and wise in business. When my company's name first went up, I felt so wonderful, so excited about it, to where I wanted it to go up all over town. I wanted neon lights, I wanted posters, I wanted to advertise in every newspaper, I wanted to get on every television station, and I wanted every radio talk show to interview one of my clients. I was so excited about it. I had no idea what it consisted of, but I knew that I could do it. Many of my clients being older artists who were once successful in the music industry, and for some reason or another, they became unsuccessful, and they were seeking management from someone who would work hard on their behalf to get them back into the mainstream. And then for some reason or another, they signed with me, and I'm working with them now. My mom is involved in this business. I use her legal advice and her financial support. So her involvement is with me every day. The company that I came from before I started my business, which is Motown Records, who is directly across the street from me. Anytime I need advice, recommendation, need to consult with someone about a particular situation, contractual reviews, I can just walk across the street and ask my old dear friends for personal development and advice. I will go as far as necessary to help a client. And that involves taking the client's image, changing it, making it more suitable for the industry that they're pursuing. If it's acting, modeling, or music, image is everything. I have many activities in the Black community. I'm constantly involved with the Black Women's Forum. I am a member of the 100 Black Women's Organization. I'm a member of the Black Women's Accountant Association. I attend a meeting once a month from the 100 Black Men of Los Angeles, because now they have allowed the women to come in and lecture and speak to the Black men, so we can do more networking within that mainstream. And I'm often involved with all of the Los Angeles festivals, the Black Arts festivals, the Black LA Museum, and my latest project is with the Vision Center with Marla Gibbs. I'm working on a project with her and Reverend Al Green out of Memphis, Tennessee, who will be coming to Los Angeles to do the Holy Ghost Gospel Explosion. And Marla Gibbs, as you know, has committed herself to a $4 million structure within the Black community to reorganize the Black community to where she will become the sole chairperson of the reorganization for the city of Los Angeles. I would tell a kid who would like to own his own business to seek good legal advice, develop a wonderful support system, and make sure that the focus is crystal clear before you jump into the music industry. I am approached differently every day because I am an African-American woman. This is a man's industry, and being an African-American woman operating within the industry simply means that I must do more, must communicate more effectively, must spend a large amount of my time networking, and it is definitely not a routine from 8 to 5. It's more like from 7 to 9, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Success in this business means to me to be able to walk into my office every day, and the phones are still turned on, and the door is still open, and the rent is paid, and I'm interviewing clients and sending out contracts to the major studios. Yes, there is a message that I would like to tell every African-American woman who is contemplating on going into a business like the music industry, and the message is simple: network, network, and network.
The measure of success is judged by many and varying criteria. But to these women, success really means hard work and a satisfied customer. When one is guided by faith, planning, and hard work, the results are always positive. These women and countless others are all telling us one thing, that today's woman is to be taken seriously. They're here to stay, walking with heads high, shoulder to shoulder. They are the entrepreneurs of today and the business icons of tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I'm Jo Marie Payton Noble.